if you tell people that you're a boxer, do you get any difference in how people treat you?
Yeah, a little bit. Like some people, they'll respect you a bit more. Like
yeah, because I've noticed that.
When you tell someone you do, whether it's jiu-jitsu or boxing or they'll respect you a bit more. They'll be a bit careful what they say around you because they don't want to trigger you sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm a very calm person. I never I'm not aggressive, but I'm always chilled out. I never tell people I do boxing. I never say anything like that. But when people do find out, they always act nicer around you, innit? They're always more kind.
I don't want to say the story.
Yeah. But there's a big difference.
There
Right?
is a
big
difference.
But you know, I also
especially when you're a school kid. In school, I think that's when it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
You know, when you're within your secondary school years. I started a bit after. I started when I was in second, but properly afterwards. But the kids, my school, they had a judo club, right?
Yeah.
And all the kids that did judo, no one would want to mess with them because the next thing you know, if you met, boom, we did it in a PE lesson once, the judo. And there was a couple of skinny boys and we were thinking, what's he gonna do? We get on the mat, and he's doing all these throws and that. And then everyone respects you more as a person.
Yeah.
Even though you could be the nicest person.
Yeah, I had a lot of teachers used to respect me a lot in secondary school.
It's
like
true.
the PE teachers, and like apart from the teachers that used to hate on me, there was about about 50% of teachers that would show me a lot of respect when I was boxing. They would respect the work ethic. Teachers would look at me a lot differently. I remember once I was training in the PE hall, I was hitting the punching bag, and two teachers came up and were like, "Bro, you're a good boxer." They're like, "Keep at it," and they started treating me so different that in lunchtime they would go outside and they'll be like, "Do you want anything from the chicken shop?"
So I met one of his teachers. He was training me the other day. We were in Nuffield. The guy came up
down the road, right?
Chingford.
Oh, Chingford.
Yeah, so I came down here and then we were training and then the guy comes in like, "Yeah, Hassan." He was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, do you still do the boxing and stuff?" And you could tell he respected him a lot because of the boxing, innit?
That's why I say everyone needs to do a sport. You know, you need to get education and you need to do some sort of combat sport.
Yeah, that's important. No, it's not only that. You know why I advise education and combat is the perfect combination, because with education, what it is you've always got that backup plan, and you meet good people when you go education. Like when I went to university, I've met the future stockbrokers, the future mortgage advisors, solicitors of this country, and the future politicians. That's the sort of people I met at university. And with combat sport, it taught me one thing, which is I did try my best to stay away from a lot of fights. I tried my best, and it teaches you. I avoid it till this day. I try to avoid it as much as possible.
Because you know you can
cause damage. And I get worried about that now. Now looking back at it, when I did help my mates out in these silly confrontations we had back in the day, thankfully no one got hurt. Because now looking back at it, even nowadays, I get youngsters now, it's changed so much. Like 18, 19-year-olds, the other day I was just walking in the shopping centre and they were just giving me, they were looking at me, and I started laughing. I was like, "Man, you're why?"
They don't realise.
They don't realise it. And then one of them, I was in JD, and one of them must have barged me, and he must have kissed his teeth, and he was with his girlfriend. I'm thinking, "Man, you're a little kid, allow it." And I was thinking, damn, and you learn to hold back. But then I remember the guy I was with, he was like, "Hass, man." He was like, "He's not that sort of person. Hass, we should have a word with him." I was like, "No, it's alright. It's not worth it. It's not worth it." And I said, at the end of the day, what it is, you know, when it has with confrontation, we're trained fighters. If we land on someone,
we're in trouble, man.
We're in trouble, and you can injure someone as well.
And
not only that, but nowadays too many. You know why I advise people to start training, doing boxing, jiu-jitsu, anything, is because they stay away from this whole load of knife crap. This knife crap. You
don't want to fight, because what it is you realise. Do you know when you realise your heart? You got nothing to prove.
Something happened to me the other day. So I was going training in Bethnal Green, Do you know where the overground station is in Bethnal Green? There's the underground. So obviously, to go into Repton, the boxing club, you have to go through all these back streets, It was about 5 o'clock, it's dark. This car just pulled up in front of me, and it parked up. And 3 boys just come out the car now, And they're looking around, but obviously I'm not thinking they're looking for me. So I'm just walking now, and the guy said, "Do you have hotspot on your phone?"
And I said, them ones,
I was like, I didn't know what to say, so I didn't say nothing. Obviously, see my phone's in my pocket, so he's grabbed it, and I said, "What are you doing? Give me my phone back." Obviously, I didn't let him take my phone. I got it back and whatever, and I held my own because I had that confidence. Obviously, we didn't fight. I held them off. But because of that confidence I gained through sport, I was able to
do that.
I was able to do that. But if I didn't know I could do that, if I didn't know I could hold my own, I would have never done that. And when I told my dad and stuff, he said, "I would have never done that because I know if they hit me, I wouldn't be able to do anything." Do you understand?
It's so.
But I didn't. I could have just gone and hit him, and I could have probably knocked him out. But I didn't because I was like,
it's the discipline.
What's the
that's
point?
The thing. That's where combat sport teaches you. Because I remember the first thing I learned was, I remember when I was boxing, my coach Jeff at the time was like, "Whatever we teach you, don't use it on the street. He said, you're going to be a good boxer, you can hurt someone. And he's like, look, you're hurting people with like 14-ounce gloves in the ring.
Yeah.
He's like, imagine what you do with your bare knuckles. And that's still stuck with me till this day.
Because there's a big
that same
difference.
Advice.
Yeah.
It's still stuck with me till this day. And that's why I always say to people, like, that's why I'll say even in schools, you know what they should start doing? They should start promoting like combat sports and stuff. They should start doing after school boxing clubs and stuff. And like kids that have sort of issues, they should make them resort in the ring. Because nowadays there's too much. There's a rise of knife crime.
Knife crime, gang wars, postcode wars,
it's not worth
all
it.
sorts, man. It's stupid.
If they have combat experience and combat training, you don't do that stuff. You deviate from that path.
Like, I have a story. One of my close friends in secondary school. We weren't close friends before. He was like a year older than me. He got stabbed. He went to have a fight with someone. He just got stabbed. And we weren't friends before that incident. But after that incident, he started doing boxing and stuff. And that's when we became friends. And he said when he started doing a combat sport, he stayed away from all that stuff. Like all the friends he had before stopped chilling with them and hanging around with them. And it's because of that sport. It just kept him on the right path. And when you go to a good boxing gym, you're with good people. No one's negative, everyone's positive, everyone pushes each other.
Yeah. You get the one or two, but they get weeded out.
They
get weeded out very quickly.
Everyone's supportive, innit?
No one wants that in the club.
Everyone's supportive. Like, you come to a club, and if you want to put 100% effort, your coaches will support you, the people in the club will support you.
Yeah.
It's a positive environment. You don't have no negativity around you, like you were saying about cutting off the cancer. You don't need to cut off the cancer because there's nothing there in the first place.
Yeah.
So they're good environments.
And it depends on the club though. You do get one or two
clubs. What it is, you know, I was around the boxing game for so long that I saw the pros of the boxing game.
Yeah.
Like where you're winning and everyone's giving you that respect, and you walk into a club and you just get like starlight treatment. But then I saw the negatives as well, where with me I saw racism in boxing.
I
saw a lot of racism in boxing. Reason I'd say that is me and my mates, when we were boxing, there was me and my mate Yusuf, he was another Pakistani boxer. We were all quite like just normal Pakistani skin complexion. Now we used to go to boxing shows and people used to eye us up, spectators used to eye us up. We used to go to boxing clubs, people wouldn't give us that same treatment. They'll be like, oh no, you know what, forget him. So there's racism in boxing as well. It still happens to this day.
There's racism in everything.
I feel like when you started it was more. Well, now it's less. It's getting it's
a bit.
I don't know about boxing,
but in boxing it is because there's a lot of national champions. That are Asian.
When I was starting,
I see what you mean in that sense.
When I was starting, there was no Asian national champions at the time.
Now
there's a lot more. When I was boxing, that's what I'm saying. That's why I was like really like I had a lot of local fame because in my area, in that borough, I was the only Asian boxer. Only Asian boxer. Me and my mate Yusuf. And there was one other boy. We were the only Asian boxers.
Yeah.
And then after that, I remember when I started going university, then all of a sudden there was like loads of Asian boxers, and they would come up to me like, "Can you train us and stuff?" And I was like, "Wow, there's a lot of Asian boxers." But when I started, there was a lot of racism in boxing, which was shocking to see because the society we live in. But there was a lot of racism in boxing.
But you know what? At least it's going slowly
but it's slowly changing. At least
it's changing because there's a lot of Asians, even in the GB Olympic squad. Like there's a lot of top Asian boys there now. So I feel like Amir Khan kind of set the pathway, and as the years have gone by, it's got better.
Yeah.
But if you go back a few years ago, it's true. Like there were certain boxing clubs. Like even I know people where I live that are Asian, and they went to certain clubs, and they said when they went there, they would get funny looks, and they wouldn't get the pad work, and they wouldn't get the coach. You know what I'm saying? But that changed. That's changed now. Because there's a lot of people
now they know talent is talent.
Talent's talent now. You can't really change it. I'd say other sports there is a lot of racism. Football. Ask a lot of people about. One of my mates, he played a high level of football, and a talent coach, like the scouts, whatever you call them, actually said to him, they get told back then. This was like maybe like 5-6 years ago. Asians on purpose, they don't really look at them.
Oh really?
Obviously, that's probably I don't really know much about football now. It probably is changing now, but back then that was a thing in football. Obviously, it's probably changed now. I'm talking.
You don't see many Asians in football, isn't it? Yeah, I'm actually thinking about it. You don't.
Yeah. But that comes down to culture as well, innit?
Come on, look at the fighting and the football.
It's the same sort of thing. You get more Asian fighters than footballers because just sport in general, I don't feel a lot of families push it as much as a career, innit?
But you got to remember, like, as immigrants coming to the country, your parents want you to be a doctor.
Yeah.
Like, my dad wanted me to be a lawyer, right? And I was like, Bandit, I don't want to be a lawyer. Like, I was good at maths, so I did maths and I did accounting because I wanted to do business. I was always into business. So I was like, I don't want to be a lawyer. And I remember he goes, no, you got to be a lawyer. And I had to have an argument with him, not a disrespectful argument, like debate. And then I go to him, no, I want to do this. So I think our families, they want the best for us, but they don't realise you can be successful.
When you get to a point where your parents know really trying hard at something and you're good.
I think
like, it's like when my dad came to my boxing. Before I used to tell him I'm boxing and whatever, but he never saw in it. He would just hear what I was saying to him, and he never really took an interest. He would drop me off, he would pick me up, he would say, oh, blah blah blah. But when he came to my boxing fight and he saw me win and he saw how much effort I put in, now he's always asking me like, when's the next fight? When are you like when I came today to me? Oh, you lot training today?
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. When's the next fight? Oh, you should get out. You should be fighting against you. When's your next fight?
Yeah.
And it changes, innit? I feel like just once parents see it and they know you're trying hard at other stuff as well. Like my dad knows I go uni. He's supportive now. Yeah.
Does that like inspire you to do better though?
Yeah, it pushes you more.
Yeah, does it actually push you? You know you got your family support.
When you just look out in the ring and you see your dad and your cousin and you see them there, you want to go harder, innit?
So how do you deal with the fighting of disappointment? Because I remember like in one of my competition fights, like when I did it with my brother, I had to get over the fact that I had to just pretend no one came with me. That's how I dealt with it, like because do you know what I mean? Because I didn't want to disappoint the people who came with me, so I was like, don't forget I came here alone.
Yeah. The way I think of it, they're there to support you. So whether you win or you lose or whatever, obviously you go with a mindset to win.
Yeah.
They're there to support you. They don't care what happens. Like I could say, when my cousin comes to the fight, he comes to watch me to perform.
Yeah.
So
I know that now, but I was just thinking.
But I don't invite a lot of people on purpose.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to get that feeling. I only invite my family, so my cousin, my dad, my uncle.
Yeah.
Because I know no matter what happens, they've got me in it.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. You know, when you become a professional and you've got like. You have to sell maybe 100, 200 tickets and you've got a lot of people, that's when the pressure probably kicks in.
Yeah, pressure, isn't it? And everything. But
I say at this level now, I don't really get that kind of pressure because I only have a few people coming and they're people that are there to support me.
And by that time, you're not gonna,
But by the time you turn professional, you've already had maybe like 30, 40 amateur fights.
Yeah,
so then that kind of anxiety probably goes a bit.
Yeah.
But anyone will tell you when they turn pro, like I've talked to a few pros, their first few professional fights, they're very nervous. Even though they're fighting a journeyman, anything can happen in the boxing ring.
Yeah.
Because you see journeymen that win, they beat boys.
Yeah.
Because they think, oh, he's a prospect, but like I could beat him.
Oh, so it changes in the ring.
There's been a lot of prospects, bro. They fight a journeyman and the journeyman will put it on them and they lose, and that's a negative in boxing. Once you lose, the promoter will be like, I don't really want to promote this guy no more. Like, he was my.
Especially if they know he was a journeyman, right?
Especially because everyone will know if you lose to a journeyman, bro. It's a big thing because. You shouldn't lose, innit? Oh, but it's boxing, anything can happen. The journeyman could turn up one day and be like, I'm going to beat this boy today. I'm not going to be a journeyman today, I'm going to be a boxer. It happens, innit? It happens.
And there's no negative to doing that, like they won't get any...
Yeah, but there is a negative to doing that. People won't want them to get work. That's why they don't do it, because they won't get work. The reason the journeyman gets work is because he's going in there
They're going there to lose.
So if they win, they might not get any work because the promoter will be like, I wanted to
start fighting to go.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the negative, innit?
Yeah. No, man, it's been really.
It's a tough game, innit, boxing?
Yeah, it's a tough game. I'm glad you're doing it, man. And I've actually we're interested in this channel to actually follow you. The good thing is you got into it young. Well, I know there's younger, but what I mean is you're still handling it. You're at a good age. It's good age.
Very good
so we want to keep following Hassan. I hope you can, and Zain, I hope you can actually invite us and have us round when you actually go to your next fight.
Yeah, sure. Hopefully have one soon. Hopefully before Ramadan.
Yeah.
I'm aiming to have another 2 fights. And then after Ramadan, the boxing season ends in about May. So I'll probably, obviously after Ramadan I'll be training but not hard. Yeah. So I'll need maybe a few weeks to get fit again. I'll maybe have one more fight before June. And then there's a big break till September.
Okay,
so hopefully I should have about maybe 3 or 4 fights before the end of this boxing season, and then next year is going to be a big year for me because you've got the development championships, you've got the NABCs,
the Bucks again.
You've got the Bucks again. Like there's a lot of championships.
Four tournaments we can need.
There's about 4 tournaments next year. This year we're just getting back into it and stacking up.
I've got some contacts. I was even thinking today. I didn't tell him I was thinking should I take him Hull because in Hull they got the box cup. Hull box cup. So I know one coach says I can put him in the box cup there. I can do this with him, do that. Yeah. Because I want him to compete a lot now.
Do you know that's where you get big, man, and strong, and you know.
Yeah. That's what you gain. That's what you learn, isn't it? It's what you learn is when you box. Everything. The most I've learned has been in the last 2 weeks. I've had 2 fights in 2 weeks, and I've learned so much in them 2 weeks, more than I've learned in the last month. Yeah. Because there's only so much your coach can keep going over with pads and sparring. Yeah. There's only when you're in there. Bro, when you're under them lights, and you feel nervous, and someone's there to actually, obviously in sparring, someone's there to beat you up as well, but. You got no head guard in it. And you feel that first punch is different. Yeah. And then you have to like kind of work on what you did in sparring. Because sometimes when you get in the ring, like especially with me, I don't know about my cousin, I just go for it, bro. I just start throwing. I just get very aggressive. I just come on the front foot. It's about learning to when to box, when to go aggressive, and you only learn that as you have more fights, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, it's gonna be fun, man. I'm sure you're excited.
Yeah,
you're
that'll be
excited.
fun.
So this is a new chapter for you, right?
Yeah. So what it is what I realised is being a boxing coach. When my boxers used to compete, and obviously I would give them a game plan, and then they'll box and they'll get a few punches to the face, I wouldn't feel it as much. I'll feel it because they're my boxers. I've taught them from the ground up. But when my cousin boxes and I see him get a punch in the face, I feel it a lot. I'm like, oh man, should I be here? Do I want to watch this? And I'm thinking, shit, shall I just go in there like smoke next to him? Because you feel it more.
That love, isn't there?
Yeah, it's a different feeling. When he's competing, I feel it differently. Yeah. When my boys used to compete, my boxers, should I say, I wouldn't feel it as much. It wasn't that same sort of feeling. When family's boxing, when family's boxing, it's different. I care. I want him to get treated correctly. I want his coach to do the correct things. I want to protect him from certain things, and I want to keep him on the straight path. Man. So it's a different sort of ball game.
Zain, man, it's been really nice having you on our show. Hassan, again, same with you. Obviously, I know you more. I just met you and everything. But Hassan's actually padded me. Remember the shoulder injury?
I remember them days, man.
So, but no, it's been really nice having you here, man. And this is the setup now. We're gonna have you here more often. Hopefully, we're gonna have Habs here as well on another day.
Hopefully, by the end of the season, I should have a couple more fights and come down towards the end of the year after the championships.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Everyone, make sure you follow. Yeah. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We're going to be watching Zain's upcoming fights, his journey into this, and look, we're going to see him excel, inshallah.
And become an amateur champion.
Amateur champion, and then a pro champion. Inshallah. But it's amazing to hear his journey, and I hope you've actually enjoyed it. Watch out for future episodes, and we'll be definitely putting some footage in so you can see how he's doing and all of this guy's talent, man. Really appreciate it, man. Really appreciate it, man. Alright, everyone, you take care. See you in the next one.